It's in the air. Where's it going? Straight down the throat of... Oh, is it the road? It's 6. It's a 6. It's a 6. Umpire is 6. I can tell you now, umpire, that is 6. Now they're going to look at the replay. It's signal 4. Oh, they won anyway. No. And they've won. They've won. Worcestershire have won. Oh, my goodness. Worcestershire have won with 2 balls to spare. Worcestershire have won the Metro Bank Cup. You know you got me where you want me. I'm thinking I could be the one. Yeah.
It was gonna take something special to get Pete back on the podcast trail. Goodness me, that was special. We're back, gang. We couldn't stay away. How could we? It's On a Pair. It's 3 friends talking about the game they love, the team they follow, and all kind of last-gasp dramatic trophy wins that come with it. As always, to make sense of the wonderful world of Worcestershire, I've got my 2 mates with me. Peter de-Sondberg, how are you, sir?
Oh, superb. Absolutely superb.
Darryl Butler, did you make... You have made it back.
I have made it back. I'm here. I'm still... My heart rate's not quite back to normal yet after that finale. But I'm good. I'm good to go. That just remote that commentary, listening to that back, before we go into it, it was a 6, wasn't it? Why was it giving us a 4?
All that
because as everybody was running around me, jumping on top of us all in the stand, celebrating, I was telling anybody who'd listened that it should have been given as a 6, but nobody seemed to give it a toss.
Well, no, it's because we just won a trophy, Dan.
Well, look, details matter to a point, except...
excuse me, I don't know what to put in my scorecard. I've been filling it in. I don't know what to put in the final box. I need to get it right before I can celebrate.
Oh, look, let's face it, Daz, you're the emotional heartbeat of this operation, and for you to go into the minutiae, I mean, it's very early for you to get your committee blazer and tie on. Yes, I have considered the rules. But look, it was given a 4, not a 6. One thing about that commentary is that, I mean, Bradders and Frank sounding like giddy schoolboys. That's a cute thing and a half, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, what goosebumps listening back to that.
Yeah, fantastic. Great work.
Absolutely. I know we're not doing the VARs and stuff today, but can I just put an early shout in for Agent Abbott to get the award? Because he was the one that dropped it, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, I think at that point, the kind of game was kind of gone, wasn't it? It was his over before that wasn't great. And I know.
If he takes that catch, the game's still on there with weight at the wrong end. 8 wickets down, still needing 4 to win at that point, didn't we?
I suppose, yeah.
That's
shades of Tim Southey on the boundary rope in the World Cup. Shades of the World Cup. I'm going to do it, lads. I don't care. It's early, but I'm doing it. By the barest of margins. They've won it by the barest of margins. I am still absolutely fizzing. We're a week out from this, but understandably, you know, the pairs/rapids contingent,
It's been a great... So Worcester City getting promoted at the start of the summer and bookending with the pairs winning the...
Warriors back in action as well.
Warriors back in action. That was the night before, wasn't it?
Yeah, so on the Friday they played Bath. The next day, Worcestershire win a pot. I mean, really it's brilliant for Worcester sport. And let's face it, a couple of years back, things were pretty bleak because Warriors disappeared. Worcester City were in a terrible place. And Worcestershire, well, I mean, they were bad in every competition a few years back. So, look, we had to come back and we had to have a conversation about it because, well, partly a whole bunch of you demanded it, and partly what better way to celebrate the fact than to celebrate it with your mates.
And it's really good to actually celebrate it here with you two now because I did check the weather forecast this morning and it wasn't looking great. So I didn't think either of you were going to make it, but... No, it's good to see you both here anyway.
We made it, yes. Look, if you've been
I was hoping your train was cancelled back from Nottingham.
I mean, by the time that game finished, I was hoping, for the best for you, mate. I thought you might not make it back that night.
Yeah, I slept all the way home, that's for sure.
So, yeah, if you've been living under a rock, then you probably don't know, but everyone else does. The 3 of us intended to travel to Trent Bridge. Only one of us made the journey. And look, if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Daz. Daz, you're an absolute soldier. You're a foot soldier, and God bless you for it.
Good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah.
it was honestly, Jim, you made me feel really silly the day before because you sort of said, well, look, don't be so silly. What you're making a wasted journey to Nottingham for, just have the day off on Saturday. They'll probably get a couple of hours in, then it'll pour down. Come up with us on the Sunday. Watch us lift the trophy, for goodness sake.
I was confident as well, wasn't I?
Well, to be fair, I was looking at it all day Friday going, I'll go in tomorrow, I'll wait till Sunday. And then it just, the forecast just looked a little bit better on the Saturday morning. Yeah,
Shifted overnight, didn't it? Really?
Yeah,
and it went all.
But
a
it
bit
still
north.
didn't look great. Well, it wasn't great all day, was it? But it.
Well, in Pete's words, you said it looked hopeless, didn't it? And it kind of was. And look, big love to everybody that travelled, despite the forecast. There's a whole bunch of people you can see online saying, I'm travelling for this, I can't make the reserve day, it's now or never. The weather may look rubbish, but I'm doing it anyway. The amount of money spent travelling, and, let's face it, a lot of rain delays, so you've got to get, let's say, refreshing beverages. They're not cheap these days at sporting venues either, so it's an expensive day out.
What was the price?
It's $6.50 for the
all right.
the IPA was. Plus, obviously, the quid they charge you for a cup with the first one, which you don't get back at Trent Bridge.
Okay.
Went to take mine back, and if you take it back, they don't give you the pound back. They donate it to charity.
Did the team have to
Well,
pay for their cup?
I want my pound.
Okay, I'll get your pound.
I was going to do a low quality gag about £1 for the cup, but it's too late now.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. We'll just pretend
We'll pretend it was funny. And
We'll
just cut it
move
back.
on.
You do it afterwards. We'll cut it in.
I mean, looking at the trophy, that's probably what it's worth, but we'll get to that. Okay, look. Pete and I didn't travel. We are idiots. We own it. We're stupid people. Oh, man, it would have been ace to be there, wouldn't it? And look, I think it's only fair that if we're going to talk about this, that we give the first opportunity to take the floor to those that actually bothered to go.
Yeah.
What do you say, Pete? Does that
I
sound
agree with
fair?
I think that's exactly right.
Okay, well, look,
Thank you, chaps.
that's no problem at all. So let's hear from two people that were there.
Well, here we are at New Road just before the game against Sussex, and we're reflecting on last Saturday at Trent Bridge. I'm Frank Watson, alongside me is Dave Bradley. We're from the I'd Rather Be a Pair podcast, but we're mashing up today with the On a Pair podcast to celebrate Worcestershire's first trophy win since 2018. And you know what, Brad? There's some people, and people who should know better really, they didn't go on Saturday.
I believe some people looked at the weather forecast, as my dad always used to say, it's only a forecast. And they didn't go. They had tickets and they looked at the weather forecast and didn't go. The term I'm thinking of is lightweights, Frank.
Lightweights, the Michael Fish absence, I think we'll call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did go, and what a great day it was.
What a day. And I've been saying to people over the weekend, and the folks coming up and talking about it, and, Worcestershire, in reality, are we ever going to win the county championship again? Probably not under the current system. So the T20 and the Metro Bank Cup are a chance to win a trophy. And there's only 3 trophies. I said to Jake Libby on Saturday night, there's only 3 trophies you can win in English cricket. And Worcestershire have won one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Jake Libby. Just before we move on to the day and the game and so on, the whole campaign, he was the skipper.
Yeah.
He scored a massive amount of runs. I haven't got the exact numbers in front of me, but he was a really impressive figure, wasn't he, in that campaign?
Yeah, I think he's what I would call a thinking skipper, isn't he? He's not over demonstrative. He's not one of those. He's not a Ben Stokes, is he?
No.
He's not going to lead the troops over the parapets into battle. But he thinks about it. He's very highly respected, and I think he's got the best out of people. Saturday, just looking at your book, Worcestershire had 5 bowlers.
Yeah,
If one of those had gone.
Yeah, he had no options, did he?
No.
And he had to juggle them and use them really well. We weren't quite sure how he was going to do that. He did do brilliantly. Just before we leave the captains, Nick Gubbins, Hampshire captain, heavy run scorer against Worcestershire in this competition in the past, made 38 in that first wicket partnership of 82 in the game on Saturday. But for me, covered himself in glory with the words that he spoke after the game about Josh Baker and about how he felt that if he was going to lose to anybody, he would rather it be Worcestershire. I thought it was real class.
Yeah, and that's cricket, isn't it? It's tough when you're out there. It's hard. It's played hard. It's played. Everybody's given 100%. But after the game, and immediately after the game,
Yeah,
it's not
when
sort of 10
emotions are
minutes
still
after,
running high. Yeah,
because they were celebrating, and then everybody immediately shakes hands.
Yeah.
And that's all part of it, isn't it? But yes, he was very good.
Yeah, he was, and I not just saying this because they said nice things, but you got to feel for Hampshire, beaten in the Blast final, beaten on Saturday, and then the women lost on Sunday in their final as well. So for the county, 3 defeats on the trot in finals, very, very hard to take. Having said that, they made a decent score, 237 in 45. We thought was a decent score. Rain then interrupted. Worcestershire set 188 in 27. Made a good start. Gareth Roderick, interestingly, back in the side, obviously with Brett D'Oliveira unfortunately being injured, and I really felt sorry for Brett, I must say. He looked, well, I'm delighted that he was part of things at the end, but a pretty disappointed character, obviously, on his crutches with his leg in a boot at Trent Bridge. And I also saw Adam Hose there in similar circumstances, on crutches, right leg in one of those boots. So great that they were both there. But Gareth Roderick came back in, opened with Dan Lattigan. They made a good start, but then they both got out in succession. So it was 31 for 2 in the 7th over. And we thought, 2 new batsmen at the crease, that was probably a time when it actually slipped away from Worcestershire a little bit, didn't it?
It did, yeah, because they couldn't get the ball away, basically. And once the power play had finished, it was hard work. And you've got to say that they bowl well, Hampshire.
Yeah.
Apart from probably those closing overs.
Yeah.
And with the reduction in overs, the likes of, like Abbott couldn't bowl 10 overs, could he? And I would say he's, on paper, probably their best bowler. But the spinner bowled well, Neil.
Yeah, he did. He bowled really well.
And it was tight. And it was not a grind, but it was difficult to score runs.
It was. It took 10 overs for Kashif and Jake Libby to add 62 for that 3rd wicket. They then both got out in fairly quick succession, and it was Ethan Brooks' time. I heard, and you've probably heard it too, it's been on social media, it's been on the Worcestershire website, that when Ethan Brooks joined Jake Libby in the middle, and they were it was 77 off 7. It was 11 and over off the last 7. Yeah. He said to Jake Libby, I'm going to try to do something really special here. And he did. You've got to admire that, haven't you?
I watched, everybody's watched it back, surely they've watched it back. And some of those shots that he plays, I just think, how do you do that? How do you play that? I just don't know how you play that. I'm just, my brain isn't big enough to take in how you've got time to do, and almost to change your shot. I mean, you've coached enough, How do you're looking to pull it over mid-wicket, the ball's not there, so you slap it through extra cover. Yeah. I don't know how you do that.
It's amazing. Ethan Brooks is, there are others, but let's talk about him for a moment, because he's had a brilliant season. Still one championship game to go. He's got Red Bull hundreds. He's made a massive contribution in the T20. Played a great part here. He's a game changer. He can do what he did on Saturday. He can score 50 off 30 balls. He can clear the ropes. He's the best reverse sweeper I've ever seen, I think. But he's also got something else for me, and it is an incredible belief in himself. Walking out and saying that on Saturday, brave thing to say. Could have been out. Kyle Abbott beat him, couple went right over the top of the stumps, but he believed he could do it. That innings at Chelmsford that I was lucky enough to see in the Championship earlier this year, the night before, I think Worcestershire needed about 100 to win and a couple of wickets left. The night before, he said, we're going to win tomorrow. We're going to win this. And he almost did it on his own. He almost did it. It was a controversial end. He's got something very, very special in his makeup, I think.
It's almost a Botham-esque, isn't it?
Yes.
Botham had that attitude.
Yes.
We're going to win. I don't matter. We're going to win.
Yeah.
And that spreads. That spreads throughout the rest of the team. I mean, Botham was obviously an established character when he came here, and Ethan at the moment is not. But I just think it's that mindset that that we're going to win.
Yeah,
that's it. We're going to win.
It was a brilliant innings from a brilliant young player who's had a great season, and I'm so glad he signed that contract, because we've got him for the next 3 years at least, and I'm just so looking forward to what he's going. And he's also fantastic in the field, and he was one of the 5 bowlers. Yeah. He had to step up and bowl his full complement on Saturday. He went for 52 off 9, but it was a great effort. He got out. Rob Jones got out. Tom Taylor got out. And before we say anything else about Tom Taylor, let's also point to his bowling. What a magnificent bowling performance that was. 9 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 24. He's had a great season as well, Tom Taylor. Absolutely brilliant.
We said this in commentary on Saturday. He bowled straight. He didn't bowl wide balls.
He didn't bowl anything
He didn't bowl
offline.
half volleys. He bowled straight, good line, good length.
Yeah, brilliant.
Pretty basic cricket, but he can do it.
That said, once he got out, it looked a struggle. Matthew Waite, who had not been in form, he hadn't got any runs in the previous 2 or 3 times he'd been to the wicket, smashed his first ball for 6. He's facing the last over, 13 needed to win. What did you think? I didn't fancy it, I'll be honest.
No, it was the atmosphere, not the atmosphere from the crowd, but the atmosphere in the air. It was 7:15 on a damp September evening. You'd favour the bowler, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
But he just.
But you know,
And
2 off the first, that's 6 off the second ball. That changed everything, didn't it?
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah, and it's funny because I couldn't work out at the end how Henry Cullen got on strike. Only by watching it back.
Yeah.
The next day, did I work out? Oh, well, that happened, and that
They
happened.
got a single, and some people were saying, "Oh, should they have taken?" I think on the Sky, I was watching it. Will they regret taking that single?
Yeah.
We knew Henry could do it. He's played really well, Henry Cullen. Gave up the gloves to Gareth Roderick in the final. Fielded brilliantly.
Yeah.
Came in. His best mate, Josh Baker's name on his shirt, as all the players had. There was something really emotional about it. So that climax, Kyle Abbott, your commentary. Telling the umpires it was 6, absolutely right. We can't talk about the whole game. I thought Khurram Shahzad bowled really well at the end for Worcestershire, not so well at the beginning. But be that as it may, what this campaign has been is a team effort.
Oh, very much so, and it's you know, and I've said to him last week. I had a chat with him at Durham, Dan Latigan. Nobody had heard of you 3 months ago. And he was working behind the bar. Yeah. And here he is playing in a final.
And we're playing, 5-6 games on the trot, runs every time.
Yeah.
What a prospect.
It's things like that. I was talking to somebody last night up at the rugby club, actually, and then we were on about the final, and I said to him, what will you remember? What will you remember about that day? Because he was there in the crowd. And he said, that's difficult. He said, the bit at the end, he said, when they took the trophy.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to come on to that. It's been a tough 2 years. We've lost our greatest friend in the press box here, John Curtis, and we miss him every day. He would have loved it on Saturday.
Oh, mate. He would have been doing 27 rewrites for 34 different...
He'd have loved it. And the players have lost one of their best mates, Josh Baker, and the family have stayed close, and we know all about this because we've been in communication with them regularly. They were there. The club kind of dedicated the win to Josh. And when the players took the trophy over to Josh's mum and dad, Paul and Lisa, there were many, many tears, weren't there?
There was grit in my eyes, I tell you. Yeah, it was, but it was a great moment that they remembered that. I didn't realise also that Matthew Waite had missed his brother's wedding.
No, nor
did
I.
Know that till after.
No, nor did I.
So it was one of those days that if you follow Worcestershire cricket, you know you have good days and you have bad days. It's following any team. Somebody made the point to me on Sunday morning as I was walking the dog, and somebody said, if you follow Surrey, you expect to win things, don't you? And maybe Nottinghamshire, or you expect to win things. If you follow Worcestershire, you follow them because you follow the club and the team. You don't expect to win things. So, what was the last time? 2018. So here we are, 7 years later, celebrating another cup win. So I think it's that extra special if you follow Worcestershire, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. I said to Alan Richardson before the game, actually, you go up in the pavilion and you see all the honours on the wall and the pictures of the teams holding trophies up. They're there now. These boys are there now. They've done it. They're in history. And as you say, you can only win 3 trophies, and realistically, Worcestershire probably can't. Anyway, final thing about it, brothers. Yeah. We were there. Some people didn't get there. They chose not to go.
Some people had tickets
and they didn't go. And they missed a piece of Worcestershire
history. As Max Boyce always used to say, I know because I was there.
And so was I, and I'm very happy that I was too. That's it from me and brothers. We had a great day on Saturday. It's been a great season for Worcestershire. Final thing, they've got relegated. It's staying as it is, Divisions 1 and 2. But nobody will remember. Nobody will look back on 2025 and say they got relegated. They'll look back and they'll say, that's the year they won the One Day Cup.
Yeah. And as you say, it'll be engraved on the trophy.
Yeah.
It's on the honours board in the pavilion. The pictures will be up there, and it's for the club and the players and the support was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It was brilliant. Great.
So I say, well done, Ashley Giles. Well done, Alan Richardson. Well done, Kadir Ali. Well done, Richard Jones. Well done, all the support staff. Well done, Brett D'Oliveira, club captain. Well done to every one of the players that played in any of those games. It's been a good season because we've got a trophy.
Hey, what about that then, gang?
It's been a good season, he's right. And I was there.
Yes, you are. Look, big love to Frank and Bradders for that. How ace is that?
2 observations from me. One, I'm all over the phrase mashing up.
Yes.
Loved that.
Yes.
Also, Daz, you talk like Bradders. I was listening to him talk through that, and the way you speak is very similar.
I think Bradders is quite a bit more eloquent than our Daz.
I always thought he talks a lot of sense.
Yes, good looking lad.
No, brilliant. Thanks, gents.
Yeah.
We might as well go now. They've done it.
They've nailed that, haven't they?
Yeah, all right. We'll call it quits then.
We've got the outro ready. Time's the pizza coming, Pete.
Well, look, so here's the thing, like special occasions call for special measures. This isn't getting the band back together. This is a supergroup.
Oh, this is Muck Busted, isn't it?
Pick a better reference. Come on.
I was thinking more like Blind Faith, something like that.
Okay.
But look, you do McBusted, dude. That's okay.
Yeah.
Look, first thing I wanted to pick on, team selection, right? They mentioned the fact that Brooks had to bowl his 5. He hadn't been great with the ball. Hadn't been great with the ball actually in the T20 blast, but they decided to go batting heavy because that's how we've won games, actually. We've not been hugely consistent with the ball all tournament, but when we've won because the batters stood up, particularly batting second. Rodders coming in to open the batting as well, just off the back of incredibly good form in the red ball game as well. So it was just made for him. Heartbreaking for Dolly, but to have Rodders to come back into the side, top of the order.
On the back of a 150 as well, so it's just...
So, I mean, I reckon they nailed the team selection.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I was a little bit worried, particularly after about an hour in, and they were 8 odd for naught, weren't they? And I thought, God, I know we've gone batting heavy, but like you said there, Libby had no options. Give him some options. It felt like we needed options at that point, but it was absolutely the right thing to do, because by the end of the game, we needed those wickets in the hutch. And
that's how we've won games in this tournament, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So fair play. And,
I mean, you talk about us posting 200 in T20. We've consistently punched that 300 mark. I know it's quite commonplace these days in white ball cricket. But yeah, you're right, batting has stood up this year.
So look, fair play to the coaches for going that way.
Yep.
Well, at times it was tough watching, batting second. But I want to talk about the mentality as well with his side. I mean, we'll pick out other people. I mean, Libby's tournament was absolutely ridiculous. He was solid. He did just enough to keep us in the game in that final because Kashif, I mean, he struggled, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when Cash came in, I thought he'll, go after the bowlers, put them under a little bit of pressure. We didn't see it. He was like 2 off 16 or 17.
It was weird, wasn't it? Because Rodders got out, and you sort of thought it was almost like a sacrifice, wasn't it? For Cash to come in and start finding the rope, and it just didn't happen, did it, for him? It was a real struggle. But Libby at the other end just ticked along nicely, found a boundary just when the run rate required was ticking up a bit. Found that big 6, actually, didn't he?
Yeah. Pulled a short one for 6, then he danced down the wicket to the spinner and hit one over wide-ish and long off.
Really classy innings from Libby.
Did just enough.
As well. Yeah, like you say, just kept us in the game, and that's the mentality, because they know, like you said, down the order, they've got some big hitters to come in. Whitey doesn't need to be on form if he's only going to be in for a couple of overs at the end to try and be a match winner, which is what happened.
Well, that's what mentality is really important because I mean, hitting your first ball for six, it was there. It was there to be whacked.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But Matt Waite as a white ball batter is very up and down. If it's his day, he can be dangerous, but he doesn't have many of them.
I think,
and he's been dining out on a good day against Garton at Edgbaston for a fair old while.
Yeah,
but hit your first ball for six, no matter where someone puts it, in a final under the pump, that's top end.
There's no way he is playing a Libby type innings there. But if you want to throw a man in who needs sort of 20 off 8 balls at the end, he'd be the probably the first person I'd look at in that team.
Yeah.
I know we lost a cluster of wickets as well, but Taylor was a bit... I mean, I take some responsibility for the collapse because I was joking with Jim at the footy whilst we were staying dry in Worcester that Curry was not the player that everyone makes him out to be. And I was being a little bit tongue-in-cheek because he is an excellent player. And I was sort of joking that he'd burgled a fiver. But Taylor was just playing the role of 4-6 or out, wasn't he, at that point? Yeah. So... you know,
and it's also when it goes that deep as well. The penultimate, the last ball of an over, just look to whack it for six.
Yeah.
If you're not the set guy, just going back to Brooks quickly, I just want to echo what Frank said about him being special because the T20, he was so consistently good and hit probably the best 50 I've ever seen by a Worcestershire batter.
Yeah.
In that competition at home, I think it was against Nottinghamshire. He's just got it. He gives me. I've got strong Solskjaer vibes about him. Like he's got this kind of boyish baby face smile.
Yes,
but that boy's an assassin.
Yeah.
You know, he's lethal. How he didn't get picked up in the 100, I'm absolutely
he will next year.
delighted because he wasn't great in the 50 over stuff last year, was he, Ethan Brooks? But I think to watch him do that on a big stage against a good Hampshire side who are clearly very good at white ball cricket because they're in the T20 final, that shows another step in his development, and I think that's really telling. Is that there are lots of things to love about that win, the mentality under pressure, despite the run rate, the performances of youngsters coming through, the little cameos and moments of players being brought in, so the recruitment element. Because Matt Waite's been a hell of a signing. Ben Allison, I want to give a shout. Same with Brooks. He developed throughout that competition as well, and we couldn't have any passengers with the ball. Not when you got five bowlers and one of them's Brooks who hadn't had a great comp.
I thought he bowled fantastically as well, to be honest. And one loose delivery, and that was about it from him. And as the guy said there, Taylor was absolutely fantastic up front. Our death bowling though, how good were we at the end of the innings? I know getting Ali Orr out at the right time helped, but look what happens when you put Yorkers in. There's none of that drop it short we normally see, was there? It was really, really, really good death bowling under pressure at the end of the innings from Shazad at the end and who bowled the last
Allison,
Allison,
Waite, Shazad.
Yeah.
We've seen that we take wickets in the last 7-8 overs. Did it in there, but every game we seem to do it. I mean, they did persist with Shazad with a new ball, and Kumran Shazad has had a pretty good tournament. His death bowling's been great, but his opening spell was never great.
I wonder what his economy rate. Spreadsheet Pete will tell us in a second, but I can't imagine it's that good because he tends to not be as great opening the bowling, does he?
He's a boundary botherer early up.
Yeah.
And look, he looks to get the ball up there and full, but there were half volleys of plenty. I'll say that much. But when it matters, we've seen it time and time again. When it matters, under the pump, when people are trying to whack you out the ground,
he
bowls dot balls.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You're both looking at me.
We're waiting for Shazad's economy rate for the season.
For the entire competition?
Yes, please, Pete.
5.85.
Oh, thank you.
That's good, isn't it? I mean, considering he normally goes at 7.
But that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's the balance out between if I had first 5 versus last 5, but I wasn't prepared for those sorts of stats. I just thought we were going to have a nice time and celebrate a trophy.
No.
I didn't realise that to be a spreadsheet botherer.
Well, no, I mean, spreadsheet Pete, how has that not been a thing?
I can't imagine Zoltzman moaning at a party when somebody asked him for stats.
Well, I tell you what, look, if you can chuck some stats out for Jake Libby, because again, Frank and Brad has mentioned Jake and what a good job he did as a captain and what a machine he is in this competition. He was brilliant last year, brilliant again this year.
Do you want his stats? I do have those.
Numbers, hit me.
479 runs, average of 59.87, 100 450s.
Strike rate of
92.82.
Okay.
I mean, that's top end one-day batting, isn't it?
That's what you want, isn't it?
And he's found that in recent years. Again, there's been these kind of incremental developments in his game, and he's
2 catches as well, if that helps.
It's the Worcester Joe route, isn't he, in one-day cricket?
Yep, absolutely.
Talking of catches, the caught and bowled
Waito.
Waito was superb.
It was.
And Cullen's catch.
It's one of those, actually, the weight catch, that I saw the tweets that went out about it. You've got to see this. I think it's one of those that was probably better for you than for us. In real time, that probably looked incredible. It doesn't look... I mean, it's still brilliant, but it doesn't look quite as good on the TV cameras.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually, having watched it back.
I mean, that was the start of that kind of flurry of wickets to really kill the run rate.
That's right.
And that's the difference.
And he got the main man as well, so that was the...
If they'd have carried on that trajectory and gotten another 30 or 40 in that 8-over spell, then that 188 that we needed to chase down would have been 210 and would have been banging trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
and Cullen's catch as well to get Gubbins. That was the first wicket of the day. It was a brilliant diving low catch. And actually having him out in the field and Roderick behind the stumps gave us another
good all-round fielder. And Cullen's had a great comp. Again, the boys said it in the chat, was that at some point you've got to find out with these lads.
Yeah,
but he's everything that you'd hope. He looks like an archetypal modern wicket-keeper batter.
I know we haven't... this is our first pod of the year, but had we have done more, he would have been plastered over Worcester Watch, because he's been... it's just a monumental amount of runs in the seconds for Cullen this year. A couple of A-100, maybe a couple. He's just been a run machine. We got a glimpse of him in the T20 when he came in towards the end, scored a couple of good innings where he was a couple of 20s.
Yeah.
Saw that development. I've been strong on academy players throughout the pod, but getting a chance to see Latigan in action and see him develop. I mean, he scored 272 runs at 54 throughout the comp, a couple of 50s.
And if he hadn't been run by the skipper, it'd have been better.
Yeah, and also opening the batting. Okay, didn't quite get the runs, big runs in the final, but it was an important 18, couple of 4s, couple of 6s, where Roderick was a little bit slow. It was a shame for Rodders, actually, because it wasn't quite the innings for him in the end, with it being rain affected. I like the choice, but it wasn't quite his game, I don't think.
No.
But Latigan kept that momentum. Kudos to him. Same with Cullen. We've seen that development.
Latigan, he's got the confidence to play the big shot when it's there.
His little dance down the wicket and absolutely, I was going to say, spank it, there we go, over mid-on is wonderful. I could watch that all day.
I was at the little Curry van, actually, when he did that.
The Scott Curry van?
Yeah.
Hey.
Thanks.
Hey, nice. Look, we haven't managed to get a pun in
No,
yet.
I know.
I remember you sending me little videos of Latigan asking about his setup and everything else. Look, I mean, he's got everything there, isn't he? He's got a decent setup, like minimal trigger movement, good still head, picks length well. He's
Looks
really positive, and really positive from the outset. I mean, red ball cricket, we've seen a little bit of him there, getting a few 30s and 40s as well. I think there's sort of work to do a little bit on that, but he's been a revelation, hasn't he? Really,
absolutely. And this is sort of what I was going to say, was that I think I remember saying on a pod that I can live in a world where the One Day Cup coexists alongside the 100. I don't like the competition. We won't get into that, but I can live in a world where it coexists, because this sort of thing happens.
Yeah.
We get to see play. What was the thing on Sky? Something like 65 players made their debuts for their clubs in this competition.
Yeah. That's good.
And those are players we wouldn't see, so I'm all for it.
And it may be a developmental comp. It's a big old step up from the 2s, and there are, like you say, there are plenty of good players in there. Lots of talented youngsters coming through. Lots of experienced pros as well playing in this competition that aren't in the 100. So look, that development that we saw, we had to really from Jack Home last year, but to see Brooks take a step, Allison as well take a step in white ball cricket, really important, leading wicket taker in the competition. Latigan, who's kind of come from nowhere. I don't know if you know, and he's been playing kiddie, and he's played plenty
come
in the
from
2s.
South Africa.
Sussex before then. All right, Johnny Pedant. And to the point which we've been so good that the kind of the second coming of Moeen Ali, Isak Mohammed, who flashed and showed some real talent, some really impressive innings and a 50 or 2, is that he then is having to compete with this bunch of other youngsters. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what's really exciting. Well, winning a pot is ace, but this group of young players that are just about figuring it out. I mean, next year when it comes to T20 and the One Day Cup, like we're looking good.
We're looking
boys.
forward to it. Yeah, I agree.
And that's
with that,
what,
totally.
you know,
And I'll tell you what else. We mentioned the fielding earlier. The fielding's been gun this season, and it was in the final. And when we won the T20 last time round, we were the best fielding side in the country, and we said that, didn't we, for a couple of years afterwards? And it did go downhill.
You're right.
We
it had
came on. We
sloppy.
said
It
we
had
were
been
really sloppy for a few years, and that sort of discipline's back as well now.
It's what we've always said, is that Worcestershire is a sum of its parts, and it's a do the basics really well.
Yeah.
And if you don't do your basics well, we'll be on you. You might have a little bit more X factor than us, but you've got to turn up and churn it out.
got to beat
Otherwise,
us. Yeah.
we will take you down.
Actually, while I'm on about fielding, can we just talk about Ben Allison's little cartwheel on the boundary? What was that all about? I think the ball
That
had
was so
stopped.
unnecessary.
I think the ball had stopped on there.
Yeah. So you didn't see this, did you? So he ran round to cut. I think it was like a little cut through point. Ran round, dived to stop it, went over the boundary rope. The ball had just about come to a stop, about a centimetre short of the Toblerone. He then decided to do a forward roll, and as he was doing the forward roll, flicked the ball further away from the Toblerone for absolutely no reason, and then held it in and saved one run.
Highlight reel.
It was incredible. The absolute wally. But as you say, leading wicket taker, so we'll give him that.
Yeah, I look, a super promising cricketer, and he's a bit of us, isn't he? He's a bit of us. That's what Worcestershire are about. You know, when we are really good, experienced pros, young players learning and figuring it out, and it's the meshing of those two together. I think what was really telling was Jake Libby after the game, the interview on the telly box, and he said that, you know, everybody's got their role. We all know what we're doing, and it's a team with a real identity. And those are teams, you think about successful teams, whether it's football, cricket, rugby or otherwise, that sense of identity, that sense of role, that duty to each other to carry out your role. They were on it. Everything about it, it's what's wonderful about sport. Brad has mentioned that, you know, if you're a Real Madrid fan or even Man City or whatever it is, like finishing second is a disappointment. Yeah. But there's something about it doing it at Worcestershire. That sense of community.
The sense of community is exactly it. And there was something, Worcestershire, the majority of the fans in the ground were Worcestershire. And you were walking, in the rain breaks, walking around seeing people you knew. It just felt like as you go around the ground, the whole of Worcester was there, it felt, even though it was empty. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it looked empty on the telly, but there was a real big sort of Worcester following in that one. And everybody was together. When the Worcestershire La 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 chants were going up from the lads at the back, everybody was clapping along, joining in, all the people at the front. And it just really felt like the club was all together. It was really, really nice.
It doesn't surprise me, by the way, that it was mainly Worcestershire, because Hampshire would have had to have travelled 5 hours to get from their ground to the nearest public transport.
In the rain. In the rain.
In the rain. Just a point they made, though, there, Brad has made about the club. I did do a little bit of spreadsheeting about Worcestershire and their performance in white ball. I look back since about 2003, since the T20 started. And we can debate the merits of quarterfinals, because I appreciate you've still got a long way to go to actually do anything special. But since 2003, 10 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, 5 finals and 3 trophies, including that 2007 Pro 40. And the reason I thought about it was because we've, on this pod, debated some dreadful T20 campaigns where we've been bottom of the group and we've celebrated getting a couple of wins. So, you know, when we've been bad, we've been very bad. But I think what that shows is we're never out of the action for too long. We never have too much of a dry spell, if you like, where things don't go. We're competitive at some point. So you will get ups and downs with us. But we do make the business ends of tournaments, I think, more often than a lot of counties give us credit for, or other fans give us credit for.
That's a really good point, Pete. That's a really good point. It's actually, we might not be great for a couple of years, but there's an understanding of that. I mean, dare I even say it? Is there a Worcestershire way? Like an approach to things, and if we try and move away from what we do best, which is, you know, seasoned pros who aren't elite, but they're really good quality, with good mentality, with good character, and talented youngsters. You know, that the Dwayne Bravo experiment and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That didn't feel like Worcestershire, and goodness me, didn't we play terrible cricket in that little guise.
But it was the build-up to the game as well. It was the narrative around, it's Worcestershire's first List A final for however many, 21 years or whatever it was. Well, yeah, but we won the T20 in 2018. We won the come on. I mean, I was talking to you, wasn't I, when they say Man United haven't beaten Grimsby for 60 years. Well, no, they played each other no times in that time frame. Yeah, of course. So it's just a bit cheap.
And that 2018 run to the final, we got to the final again the following year, didn't we?
Yeah.
And leading up to from about 2014 onwards, we were always in quarterfinals of the T20. Felt like it was building towards
And the past few years in the One Day Cup, we've been quarter-final, semi-final. Yeah. We've been there or thereabouts.
Yeah, we won the group.
So people need to start paying us some... give us a bit of respect.
We need some more cred on a national level.
Yeah.
Rather than just getting politely, patted on the head, every 10, 15 years because someone on Sky Telly said, these plucky little underdogs are doing okay. Fair play.
Sky Telly.
People need to predict us to win the treble every year like Pete does.
Yeah, look.
If you say it enough times, law of averages.
Yeah, partisan, I like it. I'm into it, Pete. I like
Partisan Pete, that's a great nickname.
Yeah. This is what we're doing now, just coming up with nicknames for Pete. I'm into it. I'm down with it. Well, look, just one thing. Gilo somehow still gets grief from a small part of the fan base.
Fancy Agent Giles turning up and winning us a trophy.
I know,
How
right?
dare he?
What a Warwickshire.
I tell you, I told you the emotional heartbeat of this whole operation, Daz. That's the stuff. But look, I mean, the past 3 years, again, recruitment.
They couldn't
Recruitment's been good.
About him, could they, this week? They had to have a go at the DLS method instead. All these online.
Okay, you're making this hard to edit, Daz.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think this is what Frank and Bradley
Corner.
signed up for, was it? When they hear their beautiful audio bookended by
bookended by casual swearing from Daryl.
Sorry.
It's okay, babes. It's
Don't
okay.
don't ask me about the benefits of having a 30-minute break when it's not raining during the final.
Oh, look, I tell you what, if we're going to do it, right, here's the thing, gang. We've not done this for a year, and you know us by now. If you tuned in for Bradders and Frank, more power to you. I mean, they're keeping this whole thing afloat.
Oh, they've long gone by now.
Yeah.
We've lost them. We're now down to the honour pair people.
For those.
So basically, my mom is still listening.
If you don't know how we do things, is that generally we're a positive and fair sort, but we do like a moan up. So come on, let's get it out. We started with the Sky commentary, so I'm going to pick this up, right? Sky commentary, good commentators, but everything about that final, if you're a wally enough to not go and listen to it / watch it on the telly box, everything about that commentary team said we didn't watch a single lick of the tournament up until this point.
Yeah.
Poor form. Right, Daz, next.
Hold on, WinViz.
Go on.
For Sky. And you can tell they don't watch county cricket because they spend the entire time looking at what the WinVids percentage is, not the actual game. So, and they do it all the time. They did it in the T20. WinViz is at 80%, so it's unlikely they're going to win now. And then it's only when it gets about 2 overs left, and they go, WinViz has gone the other way. Watch the game. What's the matter with you
Where
people?
is your analysis?
Daz,
anyway, go. Mona.
Rain break. It's been raining all day. They get a bit of cricket in, then they have an half an hour break for lunch.
And what happens straight after that?
What happens straight after that? Come back out. Oh, it poured down again. I think they were deliberately trying to get the game abandoned to placate the Michael Fish absentees, as Frank quite rightly called it.
Well, look, we're good at batting in One Day Cup, we know that, but we were rubbish in the Red Bull stuff against Sussex with the bat, so we're still rubbish at batting. Mona, Pete, go!
The trophy's rubbish. It looks like something that somebody would put a load of punch in at an old person's party.
It does look like a fruit bowl or a punch bowl. It is a rubbish trophy. It's great to win it, but it does look rubbish.
But cricket trophies are rubbish, generally. The county championship trophy's not great, is it? They do little gold
they
cup.
look cheap.
And the 100 trophy, that looks like... I'll tell you, the 100 trophy is, I bet you, cheaper than the trophies I buy for the Worcester Darts.
I was going to say, I mean...
There's some nice trophies if you're a good darts player in Worcester.
I didn't mean to say old person's party, by the way. I was going to say frat party, and then thought you might pile on me for using the word frat party.
What's a frat party?
But anyway, move on.
But you've slagged off old people instead.
So yeah, sorry everyone.
Okay, look, I'm down
Anyway,
with
trophy's rubbish.
Trophy is rubbish. Any more moan-ups before we move on?
The KGB stewarding at Nottingham, can I moan about that?
Are you going to swear again?
No, I'll try not to.
Okay, very well. Do it briefly. Let's go.
Idiots.
Okay.
Just fun prevention police.
Yeah.
Bit of singing, come on. Hampshire fans came and
Did you
joined us.
Did you get into trouble?
No. Hampshire fans came and joined in, then suddenly there's 400 Gestapo on the case.
Right, moving on quick. Pete, any more moan-ups?
No, only just a bit of a tut and roll eye at Matthew Waite's brother for not believing that our team would reach the final and booking a wedding.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Like, have more faith in your family member.
It's like if a mate, like, I'm gonna have my wedding on the first day of the football season.
Yeah,
getting
no,
this.
mate.
That's not. I can't make it.
They knew when the final was.
You cannot... Yeah.
Like, that fixture was announced early, and they chose that date. So,
And it's Saturday in the cricket season with a cricketer brother.
yeah.
So
And the thing is, let's be honest here. Like, we had a good side in this comp. We were primed to win this, and make no mistake, everyone at the cricket club, they were like, "We're having this year."
Yeah.
Their focus was win this trophy. Oh, my goodness, they did it. But yeah, Matt Waite's brother.
I do-
If you're as hard as Matt Waite, I'll probably leave it. Okay.
No, I
Do you
think he needs to go down to New Road and he needs to write 100 lines. My brother's a brilliant bowler, just over and over again on a chalkboard, and then he's done his penance and he can move on.
Okay.
do you think if Matt Waite had been a supporter rather than a player, he'd have done that silly Facebook post where he goes, unfortunately, Worcestershire are in the final of the one-day cup, and it's clashing with my wedding day. If anyone wants to take my place, then the wedding is taking place at St George's Chapel.
Hey, there we go. Cheesy joke. Daz is back. All right, we finished with our moan up?
Yep.
Yeah, all good. Right, okay. One of the most underrated things about Saturday, the most underrated things about the celebrations, the things with the Bakers was wonderful. Of course it was. It's at the heart of what makes this club brilliant. But what went totally under the radar is the fact that the players were celebrating on the pitch with the coolest sports banner ever. The 3 pairs with ham, egg, chips in that order.
In that order.
And I don't know who it is. Is it Saibo? Who is it? Whose flag is that? It's the best flag in all of sports. It's absolutely unreal. And you can just see Ben Allison, when the players were holding it up, looking at it going, what? There's your membership for you. Ham, egg and chips in that order.
Do you know what else went under the radar? That the first trophy that was won at Trent Bridge, the home of Worcestershire Seconds, was won by Worcestershire Firsts.
Hooray!
It's petty, it's childish, but it amused me greatly.
Yeah, well, look, they've just sewn up the county championship.
I know, I mean, well played.
Well played to them, but I was absolutely gunning for that. I so want us to win a trophy at Trent Bridge. We got a good record there as well. And the idea, the thing is that those ex-Worcester boys would probably have been knocking about, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Because they're all mates. It's a different time now. They're all mates, aren't they? So look, I mean, what else is there to say other than the coaches? They got the team right. The players absolutely balled out. They had the mentality to stick it out despite needing 11s with 7 overs to go.
Well, that's one of those things, though, isn't it? That I still think there's a discrepancy between how fans feel about a run chase versus the modern day player. You know, to a ball. Well, it used to be, didn't it? Oh, they need 6 and over. Oh, that's going to be tricky. Then we upped it to 8s. But now anything over 8 or near 10s, fans go, that's it, hopeless. But players will happily sustain to a ball, not for a long period of time, but for a short burst, and it's one good over either way, isn't it? Decides it. So yeah, I think fans haven't quite grasped where the modern day player is.
Like you say, it was 11 and over, but it was only 7 overs, and there were, I think, 7 wickets in hand still at that point.
Yeah. I know. So here's the thing.
In a T20, you'd be fancying it.
At that point, I thought I'm with Frank and Brothers. I thought we were in trouble. I thought we were in real trouble. And here's why: is that no one had teed off, no one had managed to score at that rate, not even close at any point. And so, because the run rate was always getting away from us, while 11s doesn't scare me with the amount of batting we had left, is that no one was able to do it, and they were bowling well. That's what Ethan Brooks' innings was so special, is that he went upstream. He went against a bowling attack that was bowling really well, and no other batter looked like they could handle it. They needed 13 off the last over.
13 off the last, wasn't it?
And if it was Abbott bowled in the last over, I wouldn't have fancied it at all.
But they tried to get him in, because he bowled the third to last, didn't he, I think?
So they gambled and went Curry, and then went, but Wheel as the
hadn't
last
bowled well.
over.
He hadn't bowled well.
I thought 13s. I didn't think we were favourites, but I thought 2 boundaries here.
Yeah.
I don't fancy him to hold his nerve.
I should have saved this for the negative bit, but it's a shame some of the comments that have come Brad Wheel's way, because he's been a wonderful servant for Hampshire.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
It's been
He
harsh.
just didn't have a
the
great day at the
reaction.
office, did he? That was it.
Yeah, it wasn't his day, but yeah,
He's not. Well, he's a bit like Barney in that. Like Ed Barnard's got caught at a couple of final overs to lose games. I mean, bigger run chases than that. Is that he just hasn't got the pace or the variation really. He's the kind of guy that you can line up. And he just bowled length, didn't he? And he got done. But some gutsy batting as well. Well, I'm going to come to you, Daz. The ending. Because like how you say like VAR kind of ruins football and you're not sure whether it's a goal or not, and it's like your celebrations get stifled. Like there were these ace clips on social media of the players on the balcony.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
And they were trying to wait and trying to figure it out. So when you're in the stands, Cullen hooks the ball away, it goes up in the air.
Well, you're thinking out, aren't you, at first? And then I think we're in trouble if he goes there, because we got 4 off 3 and waits at the wrong end, and so he stumbles back, and you're just not quite sure. He's sort of 95% sure he's at the rope. He must have done. It's got to be a 6. So everybody sort of stood up and running towards the front, but no one's quite
so
sure.
Did you guys
so we're
know?
all.
But did you? I mean, were you like?
Well, we didn't
We've
know.
done it.
We didn't know. We were all 95% sure. We were all. He must have hit the rope. Why would he have? Why would he have thrown the ball away? What was the? He must have done. Surely. We thought worst case scenario it's 2 though, so we're still favourites at that point. And then the big screen comes up, and by that point everybody had sort of come out of where they were stood, and we're all down by the sort of stairway down to get towards the front where the pitch is, and we're all just staring at the screen. And it was a fantastic moment when you just saw the Toblerone just wobble slightly as his shoulder. Yeah! And then the umpires, all eyes on the umpire as he gives the 4.
Speaking of the balcony, though, it was Ben Allison that was lit. I thought at one stage somebody was grabbing hold of him so he didn't fall over.
Yeah.
I realised afterwards they were trying to sort of say to him, like, what's
just
happening.
brought back
But
memories watching that clip of them all on the balcony.
Yeah,
He felt exactly like we were.
He celebrated, and then he paused.
Yeah. Everyone started looking at each other, didn't they? And that's exactly what was happening in the stands.
Is this
We were all-
cool? Is this okay? Are we
Yeah.
fine? Is
We
this
were all
all
looking
right?
at each other going, it must be.
Yeah, wonderful.
It was. Oh yeah, I love those clips. I love those clips.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It just shows that camaraderie, and what a lovely bunch of lads as well. What a
All right,
likeable
David
bunch.
O'Leary.
And watching the other thing with that is watching Waito and Cullen celebrate in the middle. And I thought Waite's eyes were going to pop out. It was fantastic, wasn't it? Looked so angry. It was great.
Everything that's wonderful about modern sport, boys: humility, humanity, courage, determination, spirit, a sense of place, a sense of belonging, and we are very, very lucky to have these bunch of lads. They aren't going to win a county championship. I think they're right, kind of what Brad has alluded to. But those white ball trophies are up for grabs. And I think it's going to be fun finding out with this lot, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think there's going to be good fun 4 or 5 years ahead.
I mean, that's quite positive, isn't it?
Yeah. Quick, wrap it up before we ruin it.
I'm getting in with my predictions before Pete does. We're going to win everything next year.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, and we'll have a good championship season to boot in Div 2.
We're going to do the Chaminda Vars episode
We'll have a good-
at some point. We'll cover this, but I genuinely think right now, I think we're going to
3
beat
trophies.
people up next
3
year.
trophies.
I think Div 2, I think we're getting promoted straight back up.
Well, we've got the leading wicket taker in the county championship this season. What's he going to do in Div 2?
Yeah,
Terrible.
Probably take some wickets, I would think.
Yeah,
I'd agree with
Probably
that. Yeah.
just do that.
You probably, with that sort of keen analysis, it's probably time.
I mean, our problem's been our batting, hasn't it? We're a Div 1 bowling team with a Div 2 batting lineup.
Yeah. Well, we've got youngsters to come in and try and shape things up. I mean, Adam Hose, actually. Talk about development. We've had development of senior players. Just quickly on that is that Rodders, when he batted in the top 3, he averaged 42 at a strike rate of 139 in T20s.
Yeah.
So Rodders has found a way to be effective there. Adam Hose, in Red Bull stuff, has been excellent for us this year. We've been waiting for the penny to drop for him and, disastrous injury for him. So, it's not looking too shabby.
No,
I
I
think
agree.
we'll be too good for Div 2. This is all too exciting.
We're smashing it. We're smashing it. We'll retain this. Smash Div 2. And do you know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll show Warwickshire to get past the quarter-final at least.
Hooray! Well, look, we'll dive into all the Red Bull stuff and a bit of an end of season. Of course, our player of the season in the Chamindavars episode that we'll do at some point. But for now, I suppose we should probably consider getting a little bit of sleep. Probably consider regaining a little bit of our composure. And at some point soon, hopefully, we'll get over this Metro Bank fever. So much love for Frank and Bradders for getting involved. God bless gorgeous Daryl Butler and Peter de-Sondberg for getting back on the microphone. This has been On a Pair. I've been Jim Dale. Peace.
Yeah, everybody gets the fever. Oh, that's one thing we all know. Fever isn't just a new thing. It started a long time ago. You give me fever.
Worcestershire celebrate the winners of the Metro Bank One Day Cup.
I say fever in the morning and fever all through the night.